Good. Happy Saturday morning, everyone. It's Saturday, April 24th, 2021. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Saturday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Saturday, so let's begin. First up, we're going to begin with a check of your weather. Right now, it is sunny and 53 degrees. Sunny Saturday before a showery Sunday. With more on that, let's go to meteorologist Haley LaPointe with a full weather forecast.
Don't miss your opportunity to score the game.
Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Haley LaPointe. Here's an update on your weekend forecast. Today, super pleasant. Temperatures in the 60s and some low 70s. We'll have sunshine, few passing clouds. Yesterday, the winds were quite gusty. Today, they'll still be active, but not as gusty and strong as they were. However, any little bit of wind, and it's been so dry, means the fire danger remains high, especially across the central and northern areas and even the southern part of the state. Several rapidly spreading wildfires are possible. Really, you just need that ignition, that one spark, and that can be something as easy as throwing a cigarette out the car window. So be very careful of that. Today, probably no open burning allowed statewide. Also, because it's been so dry, the pollen count is high. Elm, juniper, and poplar. It'll go down a little bit Sunday and Monday due to some rain showers coming through. But today we get sunshine, a few clouds. Here's our next storm system for Sunday that brings us a little bit of rain, but not the heavy drenching rain a lot of us could certainly use. So today, sun, temperatures 60s to even some low 70s. We'll have clouds filling in, especially late in the day, and it becomes mostly cloudy tomorrow morning. Then we have the showers filling in, especially around noontime and through the afternoon, particularly in the southern and southeastern part of the state. That's where we'll get the most rain out of this next system, but it doesn't look like a lot. I mean, a lot of places only a tenth to maybe a quarter of an inch of rain. We certainly could use more. Temperatures go down a little bit for Sunday and Monday in the 50s, and then we'll recover into the 70s for Thursday, and even toward the end of the week, we'll be in the upper 60s too. This is a big change. If you've been watching us, it looked like temperatures could get to summer-like warmth by Wednesday and Thursday, but now clouds and some showers and a very persistent easterly wind will keep the temperatures a little cooler. Highs in the 70s Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay, and there you go on that weather forecast from meteorologist Haley LaPointe. And now let's take a look at your COVID-19 numbers in New Hampshire right now. And here's a look at those COVID-19 numbers for all of you in New Hampshire. There are 93,231 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. Also, there are 1,281 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And there are 108 current number of hospitalizations for COVID-19 in New Hampshire. Vice President Kamala Harris promotes infrastructure plan in visits to Plymouth and Concord. Let's take a listen to that video right now.
Tractor has been in our family since 1955, when great-grandfather Pearlie and our grandfather George decided to sell tractors out of their...
The first stop for Vice President Kamala Harris was New Hampshire Electric Co-op in Plymouth. There, she held a listening session with employees. Harris also discussed the Biden administration's American Rescue Plan, highlighting its focus to invest $100 billion to create high-speed broadband across the country.
Now you got to have access to the internet. We knew that before the pandemic, and it became an absolute necessity during the pandemic.
Harris compared the rescue plan to the country's efforts in electricity expansion in the 1930s.
We have a legacy of doing this work in America.
The vice president also touted job creation during a stop at the IBEW Local 490 headquarters in Concord.
$100 billion is being invested in exactly what IBEW is doing here. The skills development to let people take on the jobs that are going to be about building back up broadband.
But Republicans say today's visit is a political stunt.
New Hampshire is important state politically, but at the moment we're in a crisis on the border, and that's where she should be visiting.
And now Republicans in Congress have put up their own plan that takes a look at focusing on typical infrastructure like roads and bridges, but it does not discuss broadband. It also has a $600 billion price tag compared to the Biden administration's $2 trillion.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Harris says bringing pandemic under control is administration's first job. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
The past year has tested the toughness of every last one of us. Mahindra tractors have been there for our tough customers.
In a one-on-one interview, Vice President Kamala Harris said the tools are in place to drive down COVID-19 case numbers.
Will there be a defined end, a mission accomplished moment, do you think, during the Biden administration on the COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, we certainly hope so, but right now we're in the phase where now everyone can get vaccinated, and so we just want everyone to get there and get your vaccination. And, continue to wear masks as appropriate and social distance, and we'll get through this. And we have seen great progress. But part of the reason that we've seen progress is because people are getting vaccinated, because people continue to social distance, wash their hands, and wear masks. So let's continue to do that.
In the wake of the verdict in the Derek Chauvin trial in Minnesota, some Black Lives Matter activists have called for a total overhaul of law enforcement, abolishing the police. We asked the vice president for her perspective.
Is there a way to rebuild trust between these communities and law enforcement, or is that abolition conversation one that needs to move forward?
I absolutely believe there is a way to rebuild trust, but it will not happen by itself. So, for example, the president and I are supporting the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. We believe that is a step toward building back that trust, which is about saying that there should be accountability.
As you heard earlier, Republicans are attacking the vice president for coming to New Hampshire to discuss infrastructure rather than going to the southern border to try to address the migrant crisis there. We asked the vice president about those attacks and that issue, and she said simply she's not going to play politics in regards to immigration. Reporting live in Concord tonight, Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Two more Granite Staters die of COVID-19 as cases and hospitalizations drop. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Summit Packaging Systems is hiring for all shifts. Summit knows stability, security, and growth are extremely valuable. You'll develop skills to succeed and earn steady income and benefits. Apply online at summitpackagingsystems.com/careers today.
There are 2 new COVID-19 deaths in New Hampshire to announce tonight, but active cases and hospitalizations are dropping. Those active cases below 3,200 tonight, and 108 people are in the Granite State hospitals right now. Meanwhile, a new poll shows that 22% of Granite State adults say they will probably or almost certainly not get vaccinated for COVID-19. Those findings coming from a UNH Survey Center poll completed earlier this week. Respondents could pick more than one reason. 80% of those say they don't plan to get the shot because they don't believe it's safe, while 56% say they don't believe the vaccine will be effective at stopping them from getting COVID-19, while 45% don't believe COVID-19 is a serious threat to their health.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Colleges, universities planning COVID-safe graduation ceremonies. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Graduation is a go at St. Anselm College. May 15th, outside on the quad, seniors standing 6 feet apart, each allowed 2 guests sitting in spaced pairs of chairs.
We're still working out how we're going to work the coming across the stage and, how the interaction will go, whether I'll actually give the diploma or whether they'll pick it up or what I'll do. I think some of those logistics are still being worked out, but we'll work them out.
College graduation plans in the state have to pass the test by the Attorney General's office first.
Several of the state schools, and St. Anselm College is another one we've talked to, Colby Sawyer. The schools are really excited about it. You can feel the energy, and they've called in to ask questions.
The Attorney General's office says institutions are sharing ideas about how to be COVID safe and still give the class of 2021 a proper send-off. In many cases, the class of 2020 is being invited back for the ceremony they never had. At St. Anselm College, it will be the day after graduation and the fulfillment of a promise made when the pandemic started last year.
A number of them would have liked to have had grandparents attend and siblings and things like that. So it's not perfect for sure, but they understand.
Colleges and universities do plan live streams for all those guests who can't be there in person. In Manchester, Jean Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Saturday mass vaccination event at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for second dose only. Remember, second dose only. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Does your boiler or furnace vent into your chimney? The majority of chimney flues in New Hampshire are actually used to vent oil.
The state will host another mass vaccination event at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway tomorrow. It's open to those who got the first dose of Pfizer there at the end of March. This will be for the second shot. You must have an appointment.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Snake River among the most endangered rivers in the U.S. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
On climate and the environment, our series continues tonight, and this evening here, endangered rivers here in the U.S. Tonight, the battle over the Snake River in the Northwest. Some environmentalists ranking it the most endangered river in this country. The salmon population near extinction. So what's behind this? ABC's Kana Whitworth out on the river tonight.
Tonight, an urgent report from a conservation group naming the 10 most endangered rivers in the U.S., with the Snake River topping the list. Environmental advocates arguing a system of dams along the lower part of the Pacific Northwest waterway is decimating the salmon population.
They've never been closer to extinction than they are today. We've got to remove the 4 dams on the lower Snake River.
Fishing generates more than $5 billion annually in the region, supporting more than 36,000 jobs.
When people don't come to fish, then the cash registers aren't ringing, and that's had a pretty big economic impact.
But the dams are at the center of a decades-long debate in 4 states. The Snake River running more than 1,000 miles, starting in Wyoming through Idaho and Oregon.
It then enters Washington, where it winds through 5 million acres of farmland. This river is the lifeblood of this region.
The calm water allows for 10% of the nation's wheat exports to be transported by barge, a system viewed by farmers as environmentally friendly and cost-effective.
By your estimation, if those dams were breached, your profits wouldn't be cut in half. They would be almost gone.
There's a very slim margin of profits in wheat. And so, yes, it would be impossible to continue to be able to produce.
But the Nez Perce tribe, who have been synonymous with the land for centuries, believe with technology humans can adapt, but the salmon cannot. And without them, their way of life and their culture would disappear.
And if the salmon are gone, that's the way we go too.
David, Idaho Republican Congressman Mike Simpson wants to have $33.5 billion earmarked in President Biden's infrastructure plan to help save the Snake River. His concept includes removing those dams, and he is being met with opposition. Some call that plan costly and foolish. But the question remains, if not now, when? David?
All right, Kana Whitworth reporting on the Snake River tonight. And Kana, thank you. For more and a full list of the top 10 most endangered rivers in America, we have it all at abcnews.com for you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out.
Okay, and there you go on that report. And thank you for joining us for this Saturday edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Have a great Saturday, everyone, and see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.